Look what just arrived. That's one of the most exciting days of an entrepreneurial's career. This is my third book, The Caveman Email Millions Playbook. This is my top 100 most profitable, money-drenching emails ever. Out of the over 4,300 emails that I've written over the last 19 years, this is the top 100 templates. It's a digital book. It's over 200 glorious pages. It's digital, and you can get your copy at the link below, cavemanmillions.com, cavemanmillions.com. My top 100 most profitable money-drenching templates. I'm going to leave that baby right there. I don't want to talk about templates as much as I want to talk about the late, great Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is one of the greatest, what would you call, visionaries, certainly entrepreneurs of our lifetime. And I think one of the most fascinating concepts of studying a guy like Jobs, I'm not looking to study him as a husband or as a father. Admittedly, on his deathbed, he talked about his massive failures in the home. And like I believe, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of success in life that can overcome failure in the home. It's a constant battle, it's constantly difficult. Marriage is difficult, raising a family is difficult, but it's your number one priority. It's my number one priority, and it's our number one business, if truth be told. But when it does come to visionary and entrepreneurship, one of the secrets is to think like Steve Jobs. And it's an amazing thing because I've read his biography, and it's one of the greatest books that I've ever had the pleasure of reading. I read it in the last year. And they talk about when they brought Jobs back to Apple. He was unceremoniously given his walking papers after the first round. Of course, shareholders and investors, you don't need the founder anymore, right? You don't need Steve Jobs at Apple. We can do it with bureaucrats and bean counters and red tape producers. Well, it wasn't long until Apple was nearly bankrupt. It was a bleeding, dying company when Jobs returned. And it's interesting because when he returned, Apple had, guess how many products? They had 40 products since he had left. They had become a company of massive confusion. And the story goes that as soon as they brought Jobs back to rescue his own company a second time, the first person he went to see was the person who produced these products. Now, this is one of the most gifted and talented product producers, creators on planet Earth. And the 40 products are not his making in terms of how many. But Jobs walked in and he saw the 40 different Apple products that they were working on and selling. And he says to his friend who was the producer, the product producer still at Apple, he says, "It looks like you haven't done fucking much productivity or production in the last few years." And the guy who was producing these said, "You're absolutely right." He says, we're a company of confusion. We're a company of mass. We're a company that's difficult to even understand. So it was really interesting because then, soon as Jobs got back in the CEO chair, the first thing he did is he took a swift sword, he took an axe, a machete, to all of the 40 products but 4. So think about this. You have a bankrupt company bleeding to death with 40 products. Jobs is reinstated, and his first order of business is to swift sword 36 of those products. And he got down to 4 products that they focused on. You know, the old products, the iPod, the iPad, eventually the iPhone, of course the earbuds and all that Apple stuff. But he literally got the company down from 40 to 4 products. But here's the thing. He has a saying: do more with less. Do more with less. He was always looking for ways to simplify the company and the products, never to add complexity. Steve Jobs despised complexity. He wanted the iPhone to be explained in one sentence. He wanted the iPad and the MacBook and whatever he was creating to be explained in one sentence. So simplicity, not complexity. And he did this by reducing from 40 products to 4. So what did this do for Apple as a company? When they simplified and they focused on a handful of things instead of complexity. They went from a nearly bankrupt, dying company to one of the most valuable companies in 2024 in the world. They are worth, I checked the other day, $2.9 trillion. Apple went from bankrupt 40 products, bleeding to death, to one of the most valuable companies on planet Earth with a value of $2.9 trillion. And still to this day, a handful of unique products. Amazing, amazing stuff. That's why with my new book coming out, I just can't emphasize enough how I've used email for the last 2 decades for 95% of the results in my different companies. I've sold over $153 million and counting of different products and services over the last 19 years. And I've done the lion's share by slowly and gradually building an email list in whatever company I was in. Insurance, life insurance, barbershop, hockey, consulting, coaching, fundraising, window washing, lemonade stands, you name it. Even my 11-year-old daughter has a 12-person email list for her local dog walking company here in Naples. And it's just amazing when you gradually and slowly build an email list and you email it, most importantly, consistently, once a week, twice a week, 7 days a week, it's up to you. But consistency is king. It's amazing what can happen, and then you sell products that help people. That's the 3-prong approach. I've never been able to make, social media work or pay. I've never been able to work in any of those swamps long term. All of my success has come from email and mail. And the great thing about email is that it's less expensive. Anybody can start up slowly and gradually. And you don't have all the headaches of today's postal system, the cost of paper, the cost of ink, the shortages of all that kind of stuff. So I encourage you to buy a copy of my new book. It's the first and only digital edition I've ever done to date. I can't stand go fetch PDFs. I can't stand ebooks of any sort. Most of them, I ignore the product and vote with my feet in my wallet. I just don't buy them. If these email templates, if these 100 email templates are of interest to you, you can always do what I do, and that's print off. I'll buy a digital product that I really need, and I'll have Marc-Andre, or I'll print it off myself. But I don't consume it digital. I don't watch it on a screen. I don't study it on a screen. I don't listen to the audio. But that's me. I'm a different cat when it comes to that stuff. This book is over 200 pages of my top 100 emails. Everything is covered in there, from fundraising to hockey to the barber shop, the insurance company, promoting webinars, promoting trainings, building relationships, fundraising. It's all in there. And you can grab download is the word. You can download your copy at cavemanmillions.com. The link is right below. That's it. If you want to think like Steve Jobs, there's only one way, and that is simple is better. Simplicity over complexity. What products in your business, what activities in your business are not paying for themselves? Where's the 80-20 in your business? Where's the 80-20 in your business where you're putting in 20% of your effort, but it's actually giving you 80% of your profits? And then vice versa. What are the handful of activities that you do that give you the lion's share of your profits? Start doing more of those and swift sword the ones that take up all the time but don't produce the bottom line profits. That's it for today. The link to my new book is below, cavemanmillions.com. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.